It's May 13th, 2016. Welcome to my video, Distillations from Deceit. We've been noticing a couple things in the sky lately, and one of them is the local solar object, the other are the apparent craft. With respect to the hexagonal sun or local solar object, some are taking a look at it and saying that it's the result of a cloaking object. Others are saying that it's the result of some sort of artificial apparatus, an artificial sun, or a projection from Blue Beam or the ISS. You're looking at footage from May 13th, 2016, and while I don't know what the true nature is of that local solar object, we're still able to take things that we know about it, that is, the way light behaves, to see if we can't make some forward movement in examining other parts of the sky. So here are a couple of brief clips first about what led me to believe that there is something up there that's artificial. The first thing that tipped me off was this really sharp line in the clouds, this angle. That was the first clue. And as I started playing with the color filters and messed with the brightness of it and the contrast, I was able to see the same shape reappear at multiple points, with fairly good accuracy too. I started to see other fairly discernible lines, especially when I messed with the brightness of it. And I noticed that several of them were parallel as well. In this other video, I ended up drawing out a number of these lines that I was able to discern, and I started overlaying them, manipulating them, seeing how they related to each other frame by frame. And I took the perspective lines, drew simple three-dimensional geometric objects. And when I put them together, it became clearer that there was a three-dimensional shape in each one that was moving in a clockwise direction. So the previous assertion that the dark clouds were caused by some aspect of cloaking clouds or some object, it didn't take into consideration the aspect of the light against the three-dimensional objects. So using this still from a prior video, we're going to put the light source in green, and of course we would imagine the light decreases as it moves outward, as indicated by the concentric circles. Yet it wasn't hitting the areas indicated in the shaded black lines, and I'll drop out the back picture to give you a better idea of how those look. And here's where I think I made the mistake. I assumed that the light was traveling through cloud vapor, but if we really think there are three-dimensional objects there, wouldn't it be better explained by the fact that there's a structure there that causes certain parts to appear dark? So going back to our other picture, we can sort of imagine the bottom part of that as a step or a three-dimensional structure that's in the shadow of where the light would be shining. This seems like a more logical explanation to me. We have these areas, as I'm putting on the screen now, that look both like bare sky on the upper right of it, but also look like dark obscuring clouds on the bottom left of it. And as you watch the video roll, it seems like this part of the clouds draws attention to the camouflaging aspect, or at least to the fact that there's something not quite right there. This aspect, and just the way the light behaves around the dark obscuring clouds, it wouldn't make sense to see the clouds as simply trying to hide something. It seems to be better explained as them being part of a camouflage system that didn't take into account sufficiently the way the light behaves around three-dimensional objects. You're going to see some of the same thing here in this next clip. There's a little rectangular parallelogram shape in the upper left. Imagine that the local solar object is at an altitude very close to where that blue rectangle is. In the demonstration, you can see as it moves across, one area, the blue area, would be very brightly lit, whereas the other ones may remain in the shadow, and so that might help explain why it is we see that dark parallelogram or rectangular shape remain. Oftentimes we see the dark areas get lit up suddenly, and then all of a sudden appear dark again. And this theory would account for that because as the three-dimensional object got closer to the local solar object, it would be going into the area where the sun rays are the brightest. And as it moved across, then it would cast shadows once again. That is, the light would cast shadows against the three-dimensional object. With any luck, I'll be able to catch some more footage of this stuff happening, and I'll bring you more videos after I do some more investigation too. I know there are a lot of theories floating about, and I'm confused as much as you are. I think it's less important that we nail down right away what is causing this, and more important that we acknowledge that there is something deceitful going on. So keep questioning, don't get discouraged, we'll get there.